It stands for Bamboo Living. Hello, David.
Hi, how are you? Good to see you.
Good. If you could start, just tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Sure. I'm an architect. I've been on Maui about 20 years. I've been working in bamboo for about 15 years. I started a company here, Bamboo Technologies, which now we're calling Bamboo Living. And we're building homes. We've done some resorts and done some school buildings now as well.
So, David, why did you start in the bamboo building industry?
It was actually my midlife crisis. I was looking, I'm an architect and was really trying to be green and sustainable. I've been an environmentalist all my life. And I built my own home. And what happened when I built my own home, I tried to be as green as I could. I used a lot of recycled materials. One of the hotels had remodeled. I got 50 of these beautiful big mahogany doors, and that became all of the walls in the house, and had a photovoltaic system, so it was off the grid. And yet when they delivered the lumber for the house, it was a shock. It was a gut shock to see all of the lumber that was going to go into building my house. It was just, I knew there had to be a better way at that point.
And I've heard that 1 acre of lumber is used to build the average house. Tell us a little bit about the CO2 aspects of that.
Sure, you bet. There's quite a difference. 1 acre of forest land will build 1 house, but that same acre will build 20 bamboo houses. So the ratio of the density and the speed with which the bamboo grows is so dramatic compared to forest products and wood.
Well, tell us a little bit about that. What are the dynamics of bamboo?
Sure. Well, you've heard the term bamboo shoots.
Yes.
Yeah. There's a reason why they're called shoots, is they are actually shooting. They're growing up to 3 and 4 feet a day, some of the species, in the shoot phase. So what they're actually doing is they're coming out of the ground. The full width of the culm that's what the trunk of the bamboo is called.
Okay.
And it shoots. It goes up to the full height. It runs right up through the forest, and then it starts leafing out up at the top and building structure over the next couple of years. In 3 years, you've got the high quality structural material higher than wood, and wood takes 20 to 40 years depending on the tree species.
Okay. And so, I understand it grows in 3 years, but what makes that sustainable?
Sure. The aspect of it is that in the same amount of land that you're essentially, every time you're harvesting a forest every 20 to 40 years, you're basically cleaning the slate. You're destroying the biodiversity that was there. You're killing the trees themselves. Everything has to be replanted, and it goes through this whole regrowth phase where it's basically, if you've been up in the Northwest where you've gone through okay, sure, yeah. Well, you've been through a cut forest where the clear cuts happened, and it's dramatic. It's really not a pretty sight. With the bamboo, it's a crop. You're actually harvesting bamboo every year. It's completely different system.
So how often do you have to replant the bamboo?
Oh, probably between every 50 to 75 years, you're going to need to go back in there and replant. It has a flowering cycle between 50 and 100 years, depending on the species. And when it flowers, the plant will die, and you'll have to replant it.
I see. So you can actually cut it, and it'll just regrow.
Exactly. Anybody that's had bamboo in their yard will tell you that. Actually, there's 2 types of bamboo. There's the tropical clumping bamboos, which are the ones we use for construction. They're very different than the running species. You'll see there's been a problem here in Maui and on the other Hawaiian islands where running bamboos were planted for irrigation control, and they've taken over whole valleys. That's the wrong species. That's your Gucci handbag handle bamboo. It's true. It's actually
invasive, right?
And it is invasive. Yeah.
And now I've heard that bamboo can mold and rot and whatnot. So, is your bamboo special? Or are you doing something special to it to prevent that?
Sure. The bamboo has to be treated. It's like a soft lumber. If it's left untreated and just kind of dropped to the bottom of the forest, it won't last that long. But properly treated, we do pressure treatment with a boric acid solution, and then been
That sounds pretty heavy. What is that?
well, actually, it's really as benign as possible in terms of the treatment processes available. It's boric acid is used as an eye wash, and boron is a agricultural additive. You have to have it for good agricultural growth.
I see.
Yeah.
So it's pretty mild.
Yeah, it's very mild actually. Yeah.
And what else do you do to it for longevity? And
We're also treating it with water-based polyacrylic for the exteriors, and the other thing is designing well with it. Again, it's like if you think about a wood house where you've got the place where you see damage is like the foot of the lanai posts, out on the porches, or where the weather's getting, and
right.
and if the foot of it is sitting in water, then you're going to get a rot condition there. And the same thing's true with bamboo. You just have to design properly, and that's what we've been doing. And
so, speaking of designs, I mean, what if I don't want to live in a treehouse? I mean,
Sure, my dream is to live in a treehouse, but not everybody's dream is to live in a treehouse. A bamboo house doesn't have to look like anything. It can look like anything you can dream of, actually. It can fulfill the requirements for any of the CCNRs in any subdivision in the state of Hawaii. It can be stucco finished on the outside. The interior can have plasterboard or imperial plaster as a finish. It's really up to your imagination.
What about insulation? Can you insulate them?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the main thing is that you can build with this product and get it as strong as steel, and it's stronger than lumber, right?
Yeah, it's quite a bit stronger than lumber. In fact, when we had the test done, we got a National Building Code standard to be able to build with this. That was quite a project. I call this company my 10-year labor of love, and that building code project took 7 years and $500,000 out of pocket, and that was basically not paying ourselves. We were just, this is a labor of love.
Wow.
So I'm sorry. So sure. that cost you $500,000, and I'm kind of a numbers guy.
Yeah.
So how much more expensive is it to build with bamboo, or is it more expensive? I mean, what are we looking at relative cost?
Sure, we've actually gotten it down to where we can. We're very competitive with standard construction now. The final output is before we introduced our new affordable line, we were still building between $150 and $200 a square foot, and that was beautiful. Like, they're handcrafted finishes on the inside. It's like living in a piece of furniture. The new lines are much simpler, but again, they're beautiful houses, and they're really quite affordable. We're working on a proposal right now for Habitat for Humanity for a multi-unit project. So,
oh, that's great.
Yeah.
And FEMA too, right?
Yeah, and FEMA has approached us about doing some buildings for them.
So where is the bamboo from that you're using?
Sure, the bamboo we're using is from Vietnam. We started this 15 years ago, and we needed a large source of high-grade structural bamboo. Vietnam fulfilled that, and it's been where we've actually set up our factory. We own a factory there now, and we've been building houses there for 15 years. It's, even with the shipping, it's still the greenest product you can possibly buy in terms of construction material. There was a study done in Eindhoven University in the Netherlands. They looked at construction material options for a bridge there. They looked at steel, concrete, two types of sustainably grown wood, and the bamboo was an order of magnitude better in terms of its minimizing the environmental impacts.
That's incredible. That's nice. So you're shipping it from Vietnam right now.
Right.
And obviously that's still greener than clear-cutting forests, rainforests, and whatnot. But is there a long-term solution? Is Bamboo Living looking for a long-term solution for the island?
Absolutely. We're looking at the biggest solution possible. One of the things that's interesting is the CO2 emissions on this planet, again, are up around 30 billion tons a year. The potential is that in planted bamboo to sequester all of that CO2 for the entire Earth would require plantings 5 times the size of Texas. That sounds like a lot of area, but if you spread that out over the entire globe, it's not very big.
So it's doable.
It's very doable, and it would be very doable for us to, as a goal here, and this is one that we're setting for ourselves, is to sequester all of the carbon out.